Hello, my friends. Welcome to our last live broadcast for today. Now, all week we've been talking about how you can get 100 times more results with LinkedIn's new feature. And really, what that equates to is talking to 100 people. And LinkedIn's new feature, Celebrations, is going to enable you to follow up and catch up on relationships that you have already established on LinkedIn, and the results that people are having are outrageous. So why don't most salespeople fail? They don't follow up. Statistically, 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop, and only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. They don't follow up. Sales statistics tell the story. The fortune's in the follow-up. Only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. So only 10% of sales are made on the first 3 contacts. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact, but 80% of sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact. The fortune is in the follow-up. And you all are leaving so much on the table. Every new connection is like a seed planted in your garden of prospects on LinkedIn and Facebook. You get to pick out the people in advance based on who they are, what they say, that you believe are great prospects for your business. Your daily activity includes texting, posting, likes, comments, and direct messages that proactively nourish your relationships with everyone. And ultimately, when you only talk to the prospects that you know need or want what you're selling, you'll close more sales and dramatically reduce or eliminate rejection. But you have to talk to them when you're ready. Identifying the prospects you want to talk to about your business is as easy as picking out a ripe tomato from the unripe ones. The 4-step process: create a page, connect with people, communicate with them, and close them. Now, Tony Robbins says that the past does not equal the future. So it doesn't matter what your year has been like up to now. It really doesn't. You can still turn in tremendous results with the amount of time you have remaining this year. In fact, we're at the halfway point of September. You can still turn in an outrageous September. 2023 can still be your best year. Why? Because historically, September is the start of the best recruiting season of the year in network marketing. And your business will not slow down during the holiday season in October, November, and December unless you do. Economy's going to hell. Prices are going up. People are looking for work. And for the last 3 months, I've been secretly working on something new that generates more nonstop leads than ever before. And these leads turn immediately into customers, distributors, and sales, more than you can believe. Something that will instantaneously position you as a person of influence, that people will reach out to you and ask you about your business. So whether you're an old friend, a loyal student, a new student, or an eager entrepreneur that wants to take their business to the next level, this new information will give you an unfair advantage over your competition. This unfair advantage is like having a crystal ball when it comes to identifying perfect prospects for your business. How hard can that be? The fall is the best season to build your business. That's because once the summer season is done, people shake the beach sand and barbecue out of their heads and they begin to get more serious about making money. Vacations are over, school is starting. Business seems to start buzzing again. Inflation and the rising cost of everything is causing more people to jump on LinkedIn because they want to generate an additional stream of income on a full-time or part-time basis. In the fall, you've got more social events, parties, and family get-togethers than the whole rest of the year put together. Combining all of these factors results in two important things. One, people spend more money, and two, people need more money. With that in mind, understand that more people begin to seek part-time remote work or find a better paying job in September than any other month in the year. That's when people get serious about making money again. There are new prospecting and recruiting scripts, tactics, and strategies that work better during the fall than at any other time of the year. And when used correctly, they'll enable you to quadruple the size of your existing network and experience significant rank advancement in this September. Many of the recent changes made by LinkedIn and Facebook have made my strategies and tactics even more effective than ever before. Some of the recent changes have made portions of my training material obsolete. Now, you're going to have many chances to tell people what you do as a natural part of your conversation with them on LinkedIn and Facebook. But if it was going to cost you $500 every time you gave someone a link to your website, you'd take the time to qualify them before you did and determine their potential, or you go broke. Follow my scripts. So what I'm going to do is I am going to change screens, hop over here. And let's take a look at some of the folks that are here. So Kelly, do you see yourself on here? Are you on LinkedIn?
No, it's Kelly King Kazi, K-I-N-G in front of that.
Okay, that you're in Arlington, Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
So I need a picture. So that's what I need to add. Okay.
Wow, there's a lot of things you need to add.
Okay.
This is kind of like it's more than an online resume, but that's the way you want to think of it.
Okay.
All right. So for example, let's look at all the things you've done. Senior training instructor, training specialist, project manager, program manager, project manager, senior project manager. Okay, so everything here is up to 2009. So what have you been doing after 2009?
Entrepreneurship.
Okay. I like entrepreneurs. So in what manner?
I started a promotional products company called Press for Promotions.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been working.
So you've had that business since 2009?
Well, really, yeah. I started in 2010.
Okay. And so what does it do?
It does, I'm essentially, I do anything with promotions and help people as far as if they need t-shirts, bag, hat, caps, even I've done billboard even. I've done it, I do a little everything.
Mhm.
With promotions where they want to have their name or their business or logo, whatever on their items or whatever they want.
What's the name of the company?
Press for Promotions.
Press 4.
Press for Promotions. It's Press for FOR Promotions LLC, but I do business as Press for using the number 4 Promotions.
Mhm. Well, obviously, you've got to, since 2009, that's,
I need to add that.
well, for sure. That's more that, I mean, you've been doing it for 13 years.
Yes. Okay.
How's business?
It's still not satisfactory.
Okay. So do you do anything else while you do that?
No, I'm caregiving.
Mm-hmm.
Husband had a stroke, and so I'm, just kind of hobbling along here.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Okay, so, well, the truth is that, you could get a lot of business off of LinkedIn if you tweak your page, set it up correctly, and you'll find that you could actually go out and make connections proactively that would be interested in what you're doing. So you don't have to wait for people to find you, but you got a lot of competition. So if we come up here in the search window, how would we describe the business?
Family owned and operated promotional products business.
Okay, so here, let's do promotional products. With the enter key. And then if we go over here, look at people, you got 59,000 people on here
Wow.
that are in that same kind of business.
Okay.
So you could look over some of these folks, see how they put themselves out there.
Okay.
Just to get an idea. And you could search for them by, now where are you?
Say it again.
You're in Texas?
Yes, I'm in Texas.
Okay, so why don't we do this? Let's go over and see how many people do promotional products. In Texas.
Okay.
They got 4,000.
Oh.
So this is a competition.
That's my competition.
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. And it's the category that you want to be in. So let's look at this person here. Branding and marketing specialist using corporate apparel. So her company is called Ad Print International.
Okay.
Oh, she's been doing this for 31 years.
Wow.
All right. Now, the interesting thing, believe it or not, is that this is the line of work you're in. When you think about it, throw a picture up there, change a couple of the words, and this could be you,
Okay. Okay.
all right?
Okay.
And then, of course, it's all about going out, making connections with people. Now, let me ask you a question. While you've been doing this, have you ever gotten involved with any kind of direct sales or network marketing company?
Yes. And that's what I'm doing right. I just became a Transact card member.
So you're doing that credit card thing?
Yeah, debit card thing. Yes.
How long have you been doing that?
A month.
Were you ever in any other kind of companies?
Oh yeah, I've been in different ones and never really amounted to anything, but I've done Isogenics and Josai and Doterra. I mean, yeah, oils, and I kind of dabbled in different things, but never, was it more of a hobby. It just never really materialized anything worth anything.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe I need to have more focus or something. I'm not sure, to be honest. Other than, because I did different shows, and when I was working like with Shasai with the chocolate, I was working with doctors, and we were doing, but I was actually working full time as well. So that might have had a lot to do with it, I think, as a project or program manager. So I couldn't focus, but now I can really focus.
Mm-hmm.
I can really focus even though I'm caregiving.
Oh, sure. Okay. Let me look in the chat window. Okay. Now, I sent you a connection request on LinkedIn, so
Oh, okay. Let me add.
when you go over
Doing
there,
it. I'll do it right now.
okay. So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's all about conversation. It's all about you picking people to talk to.
Okay, that's what I need. Okay, how does that work?
It doesn't matter. Well, I'm going to log into some accounts and we're going to demonstrate it.
Okay.
But let me see. I love success stories, and maybe one day you'll have one.
I believe I will.
So let me bring up one of my students who was building a Malaluga business. She stops by every maybe 6 months to bring me up to date on what's going on with her. And she called in about 3 weeks ago. So let me share her story.
I mean, Max, what you've taught me, obviously I've applied to my network marketing business, and it absolutely works. We know that. It's a fact. You've done it with me. You've done it with so many others. But, one of the things I always say was, what you teach us, we can apply to any job. And it's the same technique. It's the same dance. And I've used it in the insurance world, where I was recruiting for multiple agencies and using your technique. I remember 1 month I recruited 40 insurance agents in 1 month. That's huge. And I know that you've worked with others that have built huge insurance agencies as well. Currently, I'm doing outside sales. I'm working for Republic Services, as you can see in my banner there. I have been with the company 2.5 months. I started in the beginning of May. And I told my manager when I was in the interview process how I thought that, I can apply LinkedIn and explode, this type of position. And it didn't register with him. And I waited and I said the first couple weeks, I gotta learn what I'm doing. I got that down. And then I said, I'm posting my first customer. So if you look back about a month, you'll see, Go Auto, it was my first post, nothing fancy. And then about a week ago, I think I did 5 posts in a row. And one of my posts for Red Arrow Diner has gotten over 6,000 views between two, it said, oh, do you want to post in the, restaurant group or whatever? So this one here is a nonprofit, the one that you have right there. So they do mental health. And, I've got 23 likes on that and a good number of views. This one was a little restaurant in Nashua, and I think it was over 1,100 views when I saw it last. So what I'm doing is I've had a little twist, a little auto dealership. I think that one had about 1,200 views when I first looked at it last one. I'm not even really, the diner one's my favorite, the next one right there. So this diner, Red Arrow Diner, been around for 100 years. And I just posted me with some of the guys outside and one of the owners, 67 people liked it. So using your technique, I do a little post, and the only thing I'm saying about Republic Services is welcome to the Republic Services family. So just doing that, is getting more engagement, more people within the company. But just in the last week or so, I trained my group of, my office, and now I've got my division manager sending out messages talking about how because of these couple of posts that I've done, I had someone on LinkedIn that I connected with on the 25th of June with my message one that you taught, copy paste, and I got a sale from that. And this guy, he's got 10 gas stations. So I'm getting the first one in August. And, as long as we deliver, which we will, I'll end up getting 10 locations from him seeing my posts that you taught us how to do. You know what I mean? So I have a little bit of a twist, but my manager sent out a message talking about how he sees the value of what I'm doing, talking about me being 310% of budget. Then it's gone out to the region. And now one of the division managers are reaching out. They're shocked at what I'm doing. They're talking about me training their leaders and their sales force. They have 40,000 people that work for Republic Services. And this is like, breaking news, using LinkedIn to do what we're doing here. I just think super cool. It's like throwing that pebble in the water. And I just want to let you know, it's still having the ripple effect from what you and I have done.
So I have, I think 3 people on here that are, everybody that's on here, I think is a student. But I have 3 people here that are contemplating one-on-one coaching.
Why are they doing that, Matt? There's no question. The one-on-one coaching is where this all clicks for me. You know what I mean? And after like my second session with you, we fixed the profile. You showed me the basics. I started running with it. I couldn't sleep at night. Once we started having our one-on-one sessions. I was getting up at 3, 4 in the morning, and I would start doing my connections, doing what you taught me. And as if you go back to our, trail there, I enrolled 3 people in one day when I was doing the network marketing. I got paid $5,000 to do 3 LinkedIn trainings for one of the insurance groups. Your training, your one-on-one coaching has opened up so many doors for me. So as time goes by, I always like to give you an update to let you know how I'm doing, but it all stems back to that one-on-one training that we did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Were you surprised at how fast everything started to happen?
Initially, yeah. I mean, like, Max, I knew about you. I've heard about you from years before you and I had gotten together. I've watched some of the webinars that you had, but I mean, like immediately when we first started working together, it just was like a snowball effect. But when I take that into other areas and see how it explodes, like I can't tell you how excited I am about what I'm doing now. Seeing it with my upper management, how they're all like super excited. Many of those people that like this post are at Republic Services, the 67.
Now, it doesn't matter what you sell. It really doesn't. If you have any idea who your best prospects are, they're easy to find. Dan was building a Maluka business. working with me in 3 sessions, he was really going gangbusters, and then his upline died. So he owned a cleaning franchise. And he decided to, let's teach me how to do that. Teach me how to find people, customers for my cleaning business. And so he turned in a different direction. He gave me some ideas of the types of people he was looking for. And then he called in with his result. Let me make sure I get the right one.
And I have to tell you, I love when former students come back. So we're broadcasting it right here. So I want to open this up, and I'm going to bring up Dan. And everybody's got a story. Dan has an amazing one. I just want to.
Hi, Max.
Hey, Dan, it's nice to see you.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing is the question.
Living the dream life. That's all I can say. It's amazing. It's amazing. Beyond amazing. My business has exploded, and we're just growing in leaps and bounds. We've got our biggest problem is getting enough people and equipment. And as you know, I use your principles outside of network marketing, but they're awesome in any walk of life.
I remember last year you made the comment that you were struggling financially to where you couldn't even put tires on your car.
That's true. That's true. And now we have 5 work vehicles, 5 drones. We in the process of buying another one, and we buy everything with cash.
What advice would you give anybody that was listening to you? And
I would say, it's all a numbers game, but at the same time, the numbers can be slanted in your favor. And that's what I think your process did for me, was slanted the numbers in my favor. I learned who to contact and how to contact the right people. And I was building a network marketing company, and I stopped just because I got kind of sideswiped when my sponsor died. And Jason was, just a great guy, and he just kind of really set me back. But I was also using these in my personal business, and it just started taking off because of the contacts I was making. I was making local contacts, and just started, it's taken off. We just signed on to clean over 1,000 Pizza Huts. We are cleaning water towers and just things that I never would have imagined. And just the way it's all happened was really just because of making contacts, just expanding my network, contacting people in my area, and contacting people outside of my area with the companies and the people I wanted to work with, and learning who those people were and how to message them. That was the thing that, knowing who to talk to is 1/4 of the bat. I think it's about 1/4 of it. It's knowing how to talk to people. That's the hardest part. Knowing what to say and knowing how to get that conversation going and keeping it going, and to the point where to be able to say, okay, not right now for this person. They're focused on other things, but just knowing, I've had people that I talked to, and I realized that the conversation wasn't going where I wanted it to, and it was a not right now. But you know what? We've come back and talked to those people again, and just in keeping up with little messages like, how's happy birthday, and I've had people just say, oh hey, yeah, thank you, and you know what? I want to talk to you. By keeping up, and those little things matter, and building that relationship. Relationships have meant everything.
yeah, it's all about relationships. Let me ask you, what was the biggest thing that you got from me when we were working in my coaching program?
How to talk to people.
That's right.
Talk to them. Being able to and responding in a timely manner, but not being like a vulture and not being on top of people. I still get messages every day from vultures, people that make me feel like they're vultures. And I know they're just trying to build their business, but they shoot me messages, blind messages, about telling me all about their business and how great it is and how much I could earn and all that stuff. And they don't even, and that's the very first message they send me. And you know what? I usually block them because, to me, they're just, they're not out there talking to people to work with people. For them, it's just, they just want the money. And I've learned, help enough other people get what they want, and you get everything you could ever want.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's so true. It is the most truest thing I've ever heard. And I didn't know it at the time, because it was all about me. Because I need was my issue. I need. I was in a need and not in a helping other people. It was all about me and what I need.
Well, that's understandable when, you need tires on your car and you can't afford it. But again, just making that little shift in your mindset, knowing that you're gonna feel the need, it's coming.
Exactly.
It's coming.
I was just gonna say that last time I talked to you, I figured we'd do $250,000, we're gonna surpass $2 million this year. That's a humongous jump, and we can't keep up.
Well, I'm glad I played a small part in it.
You know what, and I've been talking to them, talking to my partners about just saying, look, I know what your camp's about, and I know that's, what it's tailored to, but I'm thinking about sending them through your program just so that they learn how to talk to people the right way.
No, what I was gonna say is, how many salespeople are you bringing on?
Well, we've got one person on now. We're looking at bringing on 2 more.
Unlimited, absolutely unlimited. So let's take a look. We're in Tiffany's account. Let me unmute Tiffany. Let's get into some actual engagement.
Hello,
Hey, Tiffany. So who are we looking at now?
Stacy, Stacy. And Basham.
So she says, I started a new position 2 months ago. It's not what I expected or what I'm used to. I have turned some heads in the company already, but I'm more so sidestepping some landmines.
You have your screen little if you're wanting it big, by the way.
It's small.
Yeah, we see you.
That better?
Yep.
Okay. So Stacy, experienced human resources and operation executives. So she started working in June. And so she worked at, looks like she had her own company here. Looks like she still has her own company. So it looks like she has her own company and then she goes to work for other companies.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Then with COVID, she said she had to step back, and so she's trying to get back into the higher roles, and she's not happy with the role that she has. But so she started that position 2 months ago.
Okay, so she took this position. But she never answered that question.
Mm-mm.
And actually, if we take a look at it, see, sometimes you could look back at these things and you make a statement. And then you go back and you look at it later and say, well, why did I say that? Maybe I should have said something else. So there was something up here. So I'm currently looking for a position. So this was before she got the job. And then I took a position which was a step back in job duties. Was that?
Yeah, I don't know if that was the director of human resources for Agilius or what,
Right.
because that would have been around that
Mhm.
time. So she never answered what skill set she has to help others because she said she loves helping others.
All right. Sidestepping some landmines. Well, one of the things that you could probably do. We did this with the other one too. Is let's find out what her salary requirements are. So we think about the question first. Or remember, we ask open-ended questions that starts with the words who, what, when, where, how, and what. When we say, what's the salary range? Right? But we want to have some conversation in front of it. You always think about the question first. So is a good thing. Let's find out what the salary range is.
Okay.
All right. Who's next?
Shanna, SHANNA.
All right.
She worked for David's Bridal and got let go.
Okay, so she's been looking for work since March.
Yeah, she got diagnosed with breast cancer, and so she's kind of been dealing with that and but ready to.
Okay. So notice, posting was working for her. All right, now, so she's not working, but she's dealing with cancer. Why do you think she's a prospect?
Um, because she'd be able to do it when she could, and then she has the leader experience. It seems like she's a go-getter and she's likes to talk and put things out there, not just one-line answers.
Oh, right. I mean, the way she's communicating with you is fabulous. This is the way, you want to communicate. Okay. So remember what we said. The answer to your question contains the seeds to your next question. So look in that last paragraph. Actually, look at the last 4 lines in that paragraph.
And say what type of jobs have you been offered or going on interviews for?
That's exactly right. She said, been offered jobs I would have loved to have said yes to. All right? So now, this is the first place where she's telling you about cancer, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing we have to say is, now, you always want to have an end result in mind. Where do I want to go with this thing? So finding out what kind of job now, another question would be how, again, another question is how long is it going to take her? Not yet. So let's find out when she can go back to work. Now, another thing is going to be, yeah, what kind of jobs were you interested in? But you've got to ask questions to learn who's a prospect, who isn't. Okay, now we could certainly ask, that there are plenty of ways for you to be earning money while you're from home, while you're recuperating. But you got to approach this from her position. Okay, she's dealing with cancer. What's the prognosis? When does she expect to be able to go back to work?
Okay.
All right. And so this is somebody, we talk about follow-up. So this is somebody that you want to send a post to every day. Same thing with the other one that like those motivating posts. They're really potentially great prospects. So we find out when does she think she's going to be able to go back to work? How is she surviving financially without working? That's going to be another interesting question. And if she comes back and she tells you she's struggling financially, then that might give you an opportunity to tell her that while she's battling cancer, a lot of people make money from home.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's take a look. Who's next?
Gilbert, Gilbert. So he worked at Bed Bath and Beyond and he just got a position. And so you wanted to see, because you said his pay is probably way, or substantially less.
Well, he's not a prospect.
Okay.
Okay. See, it doesn't take you long to figure out who you want to talk to and who you don't. It really doesn't. And as we identify the people that are not prospects, we stop talking to them
Okay.
and focus on all the other people. All right, let me pop over here. Debbie's got one.
Thank you.
And come back tomorrow. We'll do some more.
Okay. Will do.
Pop over here. So let's see.
Hey, Max,
Hey, Debbie. Okay, so this is the,
we went through yesterday and there was a bunch of things and then I didn't write everything there. I just took what, kind of what the real thread of this was.
okay. Well, okay, let's. Okay. Okay. Michelle, please understand that I'm not trying to convince you to join a company, and I'm not surprised that you've heard of most of them. We want to flip that. First thing you want to say, look, Michelle, I'm not surprised that you've heard of most companies. All right.
Okay,
And believe me, I am not trying to convince you to join a company.
okay,
Right? It's subtle.
right, okay,
Okay, but basically what you're doing here is by saying, I'm not surprised that you've heard of most of these companies. You're telling her something that she can agree with.
okay,
All right, then we come back and so now the second part, you know, if she keeps that agreement process going on, she should agree with that too. Now, let me play around with this. We can address it tomorrow. I see where I don't think we have to go that far.
Okay, probably not.
You know, it's, you know, basically what you're saying is, look, Michelle, listen, life is too short. You know, when we originally started talking, you told me that you wanted to have your own business. Right now, if you're gonna get into this business, you know, which is the reason that I brought it up. And now I'm just following up with you because I found a better business. And, you know, I wish you a lot of luck in your efforts, you know, to be happy. And if you ever decide that, you know, it's kind of like a subtle takeaway.
Right,
You know, if you ever decide that, you know, it's not about working for a company. It's about working for yourself. You know, you have to the most successful people in this business have a bigger vision and a bigger understanding of the business than you do. And it isn't until you grasp the scope of the business and understand the, you know, anyway, that's kind of the direction we want to go.
okay, so I'll play with that and I'll bring that tomorrow.
Yeah, and you're right, because there's plenty of time. And every day that she's not doing anything, every day she's not working or, you know, doing something. Yeah, but the thing to see with her, she's working. So she's
She's
doing,
got some income, but she needs more.
right, but she has it,
Right,
and that's the difference.
right.
Okay, folks, we will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Keep your eye out. We have opened up registration for our October boot camp. So we'll talk to all of you tomorrow. You'll have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, wonderful weekend.